A Tuesday night in the hospitality industry is notoriously brutal. You open the doors, turn on the neon signs, and then nothing happens. The room stays quiet. This chart shows the harsh reality of those off-peak hours. The baseline cost to keep the lights on and the staff on the clock stays rigidly high, while the revenue generated by a handful of patrons barely registers. You are paying for the privilege of staying open. Venue owners try to plug this gap. They bring in local trivia hosts or set up karaoke machines. But as the data shows, the revenue line barely twitches. These formats often require intense concentration or public performance, which alienates casual patrons looking to unwind. To actually draw a crowd on a Tuesday, an event needs a different formula. It has to be incredibly easy to join, require zero specialized knowledge, and keep the energy constantly elevated. That specific criteria is why so many venues are adopting music bingo. It takes the mechanics of a retirement home staple and injects it with a high decibel pulse. The draw is so powerful that crowds of over 800 people will show up to outdoor venues and sit through 50-minute severe thunderstorm delays just to keep their seats for the first round. Getting people off their couches midweek requires dropping the friction of a pub quiz and offering them a shared high-energy experience. When the storm clears and the game actually starts, the quiet Tuesday night disappears. The room fills up, the speakers get loud, and the host takes the stage. The rules are incredibly simple. You get a card, but instead of B12 or G46, the squares are filled with famous musicians and bands. The host operates more like a DJ. They pick a theme for the round, like an all-80s night or a girl power category, and blast a 60-second clip of a song over the PA system. The audience listens to the track and tries to identify the artist. If Hip to Be Square comes on, they have about a minute to realize it's Huey Lewis and the News, and then mark it off their board. The playlist jumps quickly between genres and legends. A pop track gives way to stadium rock, and players are suddenly scanning their cards for Queen. The first person to get 5 artists in a row shouts bingo. They claim a prize from the stage, and by venue tradition, the rest of the room playfully boos them for winning. By swapping out random numbers for familiar music, the structure forces the room to actively listen, debate the song titles with their friends, and stay completely locked into the game. But the mechanics of the game only explain how it works. Why it works happens entirely in the players' heads. The game triggers one of the most potent human emotions. It manufactures pure nostalgia. A single bass line or a recognizable vocal riff hits the speakers, and adult patrons are instantly transported. A Michael Jackson hit pulls them right back to a middle school dance. A shift into a 90s Salt and Peppa track taps into a different era, keeping the energy varied as the playlist cycles through decades of hits. You can see this reaction happening in real time. People stop staring at their cards and start singing along. They drum on the tables and dance in their seats. When an Earth, Wind & Fire track drops, hundreds of people recognize the funk groove at the exact same moment. It creates a massive, synchronized wave of realization across the room. Then an AC/DC guitar riff cuts through, and suddenly different generations and demographics are headbanging together. The music acts as a universal language. The venue provides the physical cards and markers, while the audience generates the high-energy atmosphere of a shared trip through the past. All of this emotional engagement translates directly back to the venue's bottom line. This graph tracks a music bingo event. The host plays continuous rounds for 2 hours without a single break. Audience retention holds completely flat. Nobody leaves. And while they stay glued to their tables, they are ordering more appetizers and buying more drinks. The economics expand the following week. Players who had a great time return, and they bring 2 or 3 new friends with them, creating a compounding growth cycle for the venue's slowest day. That empty, quiet room draining money on a Tuesday is gone. It's been replaced by a packed house with a full waitstaff and a loud, active bar. The combination of effortless gameplay and nostalgic music provides a repeatable framework for converting a quiet night into a high-margin event.